For the last few years, ever since the first appearance of Tommy's Master Morpher in the Dimensions in Danger episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, fans have had questions. So many questions. Who made the Morpher? How were the power coins made? How does Tommy still even have access to all these powers? And could any Ranger have a Master Morpher? These are all great questions that hopefully we can answer in today's video. So let's get into it. A quick reminder before we start, my friends, over 84% of my audience on this channel have not subscribed. This obviously sucks, so if you could all do me a huge favour and hit that subscribe button, it would really help out the channel and allow me to continue making these videos for all of you. Thank you so much in advance. So, first of all, what is a Master Morpher? Well, as of right now, it's an upgraded version of a Power Morpher, currently used exclusively by Tommy Oliver. It gives him the ability to switch between all previous Ranger forms that he has been at one time or another. Now, how does this Morpher work and how did it come to be? Well, that's still a little unclear. The small description that we are given says that the Master Morpher uses a crystal frequency transducer that can quick cycle between the Dragonzord, White Tiger, Turbo, Zeo and Dino Thunder power coins that are stored within it. In the graphic novel Soul of the Dragon, which I'm pretty sure is considered a straight canon continuation of the show, the SPD cadet Anara implies that the Morpher's circuitry had been designed by either Angela Fairweather or Billy Cranston, which in my opinion is sort of what I would have guessed anyway. We know very little about Billy's whereabouts after he leaves for Aquitar, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have, at some point, returned to Earth to catch up with his friends and family. But we know how insanely intelligent and creative Billy was as a teenager. Imagine the levels of his genius as an adult and after spending so much time on an alien planet with alien technology. I would assume that a Master Morpher would be a pretty simple invention for him by this point. So my guess would be that it definitely was made by the former Blue Ranger, Billy Cranston. At least that would be my favourite answer. Now let's move on to that really interesting question. Could any Ranger use a Master Morpher? Well, for that to even be necessary, of course the Ranger in question would need to have had access to more than one set of powers. So, which Rangers does that apply to? Of course there is Tommy Oliver, then Jason Lee Scott, who was the Mighty Morphin Red and Zeo Gold Rangers, Catherine Hillard was a Mighty Morphin, Zeo and Turbo Ranger, Rocky DeSantos was a Mighty Morphin and Zeo Ranger, Tanya Sloan was a Zeo and Turbo Ranger, Carlos was a Turbo and in Space Ranger, Ashley Hammond was a Turbo and in Space Ranger as well, Cassie Chan again a Turbo and in Space Ranger, TJ Johnson a Turbo and in Space Ranger, and Adam Park was a Mighty Morphin, Turbo and Zeo Ranger. Now, from that it's very clear to say that getting a new set of powers is very much an old school thing and doesn't really happen to modern Power Ranger teams. But having the ability to switch from one power to another would certainly be an extremely handy tool. But to know if it's possible, first we must understand if it's of any significance that the individual Ranger has lost or transferred their powers. Well, again, although we don't fully understand Tommy's Morpher, it wouldn't really seem that that's important. The Green Ranger power had diminished, the Zeo powers were switched out for the Turbo powers, and those were transferred to TJ. But he still had the ability to access them all anyway, so it doesn't seem like that would really matter. We can also assume that most of the Mighty Morphin team still have their Power Morphers, as we see with Adam when he used his Damage Morpher to morph into the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger during Power Rangers in Space. So it looks like the power coins can be repaired and restored, and transferred powers can be copied or cloned. We know this is the case if you look at the original power transfer of Jason, Trini and Zach's powers to Rocky, Aisha and Adam. All 6 of them are still morphed at the same time, proving that the powers were actually copied and not transferred as one would be led to believe. So, even though this video is kind of speculation, we have looked at the clear evidence to tell us that, well yes, there is absolutely no reason why other Rangers that have had more than one set of powers couldn't have their own Master Morpher. Tommy has pretty much been through all of the possibilities. Lost powers, switched powers, diminished powers, and transferred powers. Yet, he can still use all of them. So there is no good reason that given the opportunity, and the brains of someone like Billy Cranston to create a crystal frequency transducer, that any Ranger could have one. Now, I would love for you guys to answer me a question. Which past Ranger that has had multiple powers would you most like to see wield a Master Morpher? For me, it's a toss-up between Adam and Jason. I think Adam is an absolutely fantastic Ranger and has had more power sets, but Jason as Mighty Morphin Red and Zeo Gold is difficult to say no to. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, don't forget, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, be sure to check out our Dragon Ball channel as well. I will leave a link in the description in case you want to check that out and subscribe. It's also featured in the feature channels on our channel. Okay, that is it for today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time on the 6th Ranger.